Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the show, Louis Daylights Photography. I'm your host, your pal, Louis Daylights. I've been away for a few weeks, but we're going to come back strong and recoup for whatever time we missed. I've been busy doing shoots, keeping up with the family, making sure that all of the things in my personal life are in order before I can come out here and have a good time with the rest of you. I did say in the last video that we were going to be featuring some footage and some photography taken at Puerto Rico on our vacation a few weeks ago, but I'm going to put that on hold because I have some great shoots. I want to get back to really what we do on this channel, which is editorial photography, fashion, glamour, and all of the ins and outs when it comes to shooting photography for these purposes. This week, we're joined by Sofia. Sofia is a wonderful person I met a few weeks back. She's back again at the studio. This time we shot inside. We had some great ideas we wanted to put to fruition. You're going to see some digital shots that we took with her and some Mamiya Rb 6.7 Pro SD shots taken with Kodak medium format Portra 400. That's a mouthful. Try saying that 3 times fast. So let's get into it. So for this shoot, I was shooting with the Mamiya Rb 6.7 as I was just illustrating, and also with my workhorse, the Canon 5D Mark IV, which is quickly turning into a vintage camera itself with all the R series and RF lenses that are coming out now with Canon. I don't know what's going on with those guys. I made a quiet, silent decision a while back that I wasn't going to covet any new gear and go crazy. So we're going to see some behind the scenes video footage of that shoot and how I worked it out, like the things that you hear me discuss with Sofia. When it comes to posing and when it comes to modeling in general, Sofia really has a really great look. As far as her poses go, she's getting away with doing a lot of really cool things on her own. I don't know if she's picking it up from somewhere else. Never really got into it with her yet in regards to how she decides on her poses, but she's not intimidated at all by being in front of the camera. She kind of keeps it going. Every time the camera's clicking, she's moving, she's shifting, she's changing her pose. And that's really the sign of somebody who's comfortable and knows what they're doing in front of the camera. So for Sofia's first look indoors, this is what they look like. Aside from that, she's got a very unique look, very exotic looking, just very unique in what she's bringing to the table in regards to how she looks. So we had some music playing, you know, we had the Killers, there was some Cure, there was some Smiths. I always try to play music that is conduit to the theme. I think it's a good idea to kind of always have that same vibe. Now, as far as the poses go, here you're going to see some poses in look number 2 and look number 3 that I'm going to show you with the digital camera before we get into the Mamiya Rb 6.7 shots. And basically what I want to talk to you about is a little bit of when it comes to the poses. It's always good for a photographer to have some poses in your arsenal, whether you keep them handy on a folder in your computer that you can show them or on your phone. From Pinterest, there's a lot of useful poses that you can get for all kinds of different styles of photography. You always want to have some poses, but you definitely as a photographer want to keep your composure. You don't want to stress the person out. Very easily people can be stressed out with your attitude as the photographer. So you want to be pleasant, you want to be cooperative, you want to be caring so that the person does not lose focus, because whatever photos they take home, they're a reflection of your work. So you can't just blame the model and say, oh, well, she sucks. No, your job is to make them not suck if they suck, you know? Now, here's a question I get a lot by some of my friends and sometimes other photographers who want to comment on my photography or who are interested in starting to shoot with models. A lot of times they want to know, or they want to shadow me during a shoot. And as much as I'd love to just have a bunch of pals here, or students, if you will, of how to do a successful shoot with other people in the room, is kind of hard, I think, because it's not going to be the kind of setting that you're in, right? So if I'm working with a model and I'm encouraging them and keeping them motivated and doing what I do to make them work well, you add another person in the room that's kind of just like watching or gawking or whatever is going to be, it might be perceived as gawking to the client. What I try to just rule of thumb is treat every client as if they were your sibling. If you treat a model like she's your sister, right, you're not going to have any trouble, because you wouldn't say to your sister, man, you look good, girl. Wow, geez, man, turn around a little bit. Show me a little bit of your, right? You wouldn't do that, right, if that was your sister. So I've treated my clients going back 15 years as if they were my sister. Now, I have cousins, I don't have sisters, but I know how to treat a sister, right? And I think that that's what's made me successful in this area and has made it very difficult for me to not like it and not be in this realm of photography when it comes to the editorial. And I think that if you behave yourself appropriately, the model will love that. And not only will she keep coming back, which often my clients do return for more than one shoot, they make recommendations for others to come because the vibe is so cool and so chilled. And it really takes like something very simple to throw a model off and make her not vibe with you. So I'm just gonna let you know, treat them like a sister and you won't have any troubles. first look at the Mamiya Rb67 Pro SD obviously was the rock edgy look. I like how the pictures came out because they are edgy. They add to the edgy vibe to it. We were using constant lighting. It wasn't strobes, obviously, as I explained in the beginning, but they were well enough to still look edgy and rockish. I really like the way they look. And again, this is not going to work with your run-of-the-mill person. If you're just shooting photos of your neighbor or you're shooting photos of your friend and they're not a model and they're not dressed appropriately, you're going to have a really different result. You really got to go hard when it comes to like the outfit, the backdrop. You know, the inspiration has to be there. It's got to be creative. It's got to be artistic. Otherwise, you're not going to hit the mark like you are going to want to hit the mark if you were a real editorial photographer, if it was going to be submitted for a magazine or for anything that's pro level. So always try to really maximize that by going the extra mile with the model that you're using, going the extra mile with the outfit, have it be well thought out, and obviously try to plan as much as possible beforehand. Even using constant lighting with the Mamiya Rb67, you really got to crank it down to about 15 or 30. I kind of stayed within the 15 range, and I feel like I got some decent shots. They're not what they would be if I'd shoot with strobes, but they are good enough that I like them. And Sofia is a good enough model, but if I was shooting like a client or something like that, I think the expectation would be that I would have to take it to the next level and really start using it with strobes to see the difference. And obviously I want to go there, but I haven't yet. Kodak Portra 400 in the medium 120 format. I'm really happy with the way it's been coming out. Shooting outside was kind of cool. I had different daylight type of lighting depending on whether the day was cloudy or sunny or what time it was. But now coming back inside, I'm really relying on natural light and constant lights. I use my FJ400s sometimes for constant light, although they're not as bright as they would be if they were video lights. In this case, I'm using a video light that's a constant light here in the studio, but I have used the FJ400s. If I'm shooting digitals and I'm using the FJs, then I keep them on, right? I keep them on steady mode so that, or constant mode, so that I can shoot some Mamiya Rb67 Pro SD shots.